All right, guys, let's be real for a minute. You've got the right to be comfortable in whatever you're wearing, no matter what you're doing. That is where Public Rec comes in. Their pants are designed to be as comfortable as your favorite sweats, but way more stylish. We're talking super soft fabric, no stiff seams, and enough stretch. That's what allows you to keep up with no matter what your day throws at you. And you want to know my personal favorite part about Public Rec? Generally, you only get to choose between small, medium, large, extra large sizes. With Public Rec, you select the exact width and length that you need. These will be your best fitting pants. Public Rec not only has the best fitting pants ever made, but they have a huge selection of high quality, everyday, premium styles. You can revamp your entire wardrobe with their polos, shorts, and hoodies. So this February, I encourage you to step up your comfort game with Public Rec. You know, it's about time that you treat yourself. For a limited time, all my listeners can get 20% off their order at publicrec.com by simply using code Sonnen. When you get there, tell them Chael sent you.
Fiziev is a stud. That is a stud move to take on Justin Gaethje on short notice. Imagine that. Imagine that about yourself. You want to be a fighter. You start sacrificing, you work your way up. You get into the UFC. You get a call to go face Justin Gaethje on short notice. I mean, imagine that. Like, that is not an ideal situation for anybody. And for Fiziev to have gotten that call, like, let's start with that. Names that are being associated with that call: Dustin Poirier, which, by the way, happens to actually be a false report. Dustin was not offered that fight. Max. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of that division. Who could you get to face Justin Gaethje? Like what? What are the types of names? Sarukian. I mean, it could have gone all the way to Islam. If it had gone all the way to Islam, we as an audience would not be complaining. We wouldn't be going, "Oh no, that they shouldn't do that fight." Money Moicano, by reputation, was associated with this fight with guys that you offer the fight to. So I mean, I guess I'm just starting with that. Like, Fiziev apparently is looked at by guys at the UFC in the same vein as Max and is Sarukian and as the other top guys. The difference is that he said yes. And it's a very big fight. Justin Gaethje said it best. Justin Gaethje put out a tweet and he was just talking about himself, and he said, you know, to step in against an elite striker on short notice is a very dangerous game. Turns out Gaethje likes to play very dangerous games, but the first time those guys were asked to fight, because don't forget this is a rematch, and the first time that fight got made, it was very clear that Justin Gaethje was getting called to do the job. He was more of a veteran. Fiziev was more of his way up. This is, and this again, I'm going back to the first time that they fought over in England. This is a massive opportunity and a main event spot for Fiziev. Believe it or not, at the risk of sounding rude, it was a step down for Gaethje. We were all pretty surprised that Fiziev was getting in there with Gaethje, but we did understand it because Fiziev was supposed to go out there, outstrike Gaethje, get a big boost from it, and you move on with business. It's just the way this game is played. But Gaethje had other plans. And generally speaking, if you're a star like Gaethje, you will then stay and you will play with other stars. There will be one time in your career where that will get challenged, where there will be a weird booking like Gaethje versus Fiziev, and you've only got to do it once. And if you can pass that test and prove that you're still good enough to stay with the stars, you will. And Gaethje won that fight. Gaethje actually looked very, very good in that fight. I would couple that. I think Fiziev had a bad night, and I think Gaethje had a good night. But it doesn't change the standing that, standardly speaking, you will only get asked to do that once. And I don't think there was anything going to stop that plan. Gaethje's been there with Poirier for championship matches. He's in there with Max Holloway, defending in a championship match. People are calling it the greatest fight of all time. And now here he is, pulled back into a situation where the stakes really haven't changed. Fiziev is the same guy now that he was then. He's really good, and he's really dangerous, and he's right on the cusp of breaking through into the elite. He's that same guy now, except now he's got the benefit of having felt Justin Gaethje. And does that benefit help him? That's something we're only going to know in hindsight. Sometimes you fight a guy, you don't gain an understanding and gain an experience. You leave there with a fear. And you don't want to fight that guy again. And that's the kind of fight that Justin Gaethje brings you. But we don't know that that's what happened with Fiziev. We don't know that I'm not right and that Fiziev did have a bit of an off night. And reasons versus excuses. They're not the same thing. There are reasons why certain things happen, or reasons why a certain performance, particularly in sport, happens. And then there's excuses for it happening. I'm just saying, we've never heard from Fiziev. I'm very curious. He accepted this fight. He accepted this fight for a reason. What is it that Fiziev believes that he knows about Justin Gaethje?